everyone, welcome back to my Let's Play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, we were continuing on with the trial of Mr. Natsume, I believe is his name. I forget it every time, I don't know why. It's so hard for me to remember that. And we were talking to this police officer and his wife who were like batshit crazy. And I think we got to the point where there was the burnt book, and we were trying to prove that the burnt book was somehow related to the case. It's been like a week, so I don't exactly remember, but I'm sure it'll come back to me as we're talking through the defense's rebuttal. I want to say real quick, sorry for the upload schedule being a little jank on this game. I've had a lot going on recently, and just with like work and being tired and stuff, but I'm all for Christmas for this week and next week, so I'm hoping to get a lot of episodes out to you guys on a pretty regular basis. So thank you for your patience and your support of the series, even though it's taking a little bit longer to get episodes out, but I really appreciate it. So anyways, we're gonna jump in and rebut the statements. Oh, right. So we're doing the summation examination. Hold on, my headset, it's really loud. Okay, there we go. The accused left behind evidence at the scene didn't need those 3 books of his. There is some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed I might reconsider. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it? Oh, right, and they were like, no one would have a window open in the middle of winter, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they even gave us an excuse as to why they had the window open, but I don't remember it. Because they liked the view or something? Dearie me, it was only a little book, hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit. Okay, so she knows that she got hit. Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tiny bit of trouble. Whoops. We need to demonstrate who, apart from Mr. Natsume, could have attacked the young woman on the street. Sorry, my throat. As well as how he or she could have done it. Yes, but once again, the jurors' statements are full of personal prejudice. A lot of them seem convinced they're right, even in the face of logical arguments to the contrary. I think you're gonna need to pit them against each other to force them to accept an alternative explanation. Yes. I don't necessarily need to find contradictions between their assertions. Just a connection might do the trick. Alright, I'll see what I can do. If anything stands out, I'll go in for a strike. That's the spirit. I will go up there and literally punch them in the face. Okay, accused left behind evidence, those 3 books. There is some alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed I might reconsider. Can't be related to the crime if the window was closed. Hardly life-threatening even with a direct hit. What if she threw the book and there was a knife inside? No, I'm kidding. That's terrible. If we had a fire at home a while ago, it gave me the sneezes. Does that mean you'd open the window? My guess is maybe this one in juror number 4. Some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed. Something with the book hitting her? Maybe? I don't know. Evidence. Only a little book. I don't know. Let's try it. I only have so much health, though. No, it's fine.
Objection.
Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. Oh, that's not right. I'm sorry, but before I did a complete nonsense. What? I'm a baker, don't forget. We've heard this before. It's alright. Yo, I'm about to lose? I've never lost in an Ace Attorney game. Very important. Then you can decide contradict. Yeah, okay, I know. Is it these 2? Can't be related to the crime if the window was closed, can it? Yay. I find evidence that seemed to need those 3 books of his. Yeah. I mean, it could be this guy and the last guy. But like, if the fire was in the corner, I don't think they opened the window because of that. I think the window had to have already been open when the fire started. Maybe these 2? She's basically saying there was a direct hit, right? Okay.
Objection!
Ah, really? Damn. What happens? Do we lose?
Oh, that will do. I believe we've seen quite enough here. According to the powers vested in me by Her Majesty the Queen, I declare no further examination necessary. As such, I shall be requesting the final decisions of the members of the jury. Are you all ready, Mr. Foreman?
Well, I guess we get to see what it's like to lose a case.
Certainly, my lord.
Guilty, bitch!
Then please announce your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Up.
Guilty.
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 Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies. Okay, that's fine. Look at how angry Santa looks. Damn.
I hereby declare the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume.
Oh, shit!
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I applaud your considered and expedient deliberations. Court is adjourned.
Damn. Yo, I've never lost one. Retry from the scene. Resume a saved game. La 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 la. Let's resume a saved game, I guess. Yeah. I haven't looked at the trophies. I wonder if there's one for, like, not retrying, which sucks, because I guess I just lost that, but, okay, so, novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed and may reconsider. So it's not these two. We had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes. I can't imagine, like, that would make sense if they were trying to justify when the window might have been opened, but I think the fire came after the window was open. Like, why would you throw a caught on fire book after opening the window? The accused left behind evidence at the scene didn't need those 3 books of his. I don't think I'm allowed to, like, hit them with assertions, or hit them with assertions, hit them with evidence, right? Can I press them? Have I done that yet?
Hold it!
I don't remember. But as we now know, there were 4 books, not 3. Maybe we haven't yet. Well, what difference does it make? That might have been it. Whoops. Alright, well, let's just say I wanted to show what it was like to lose to you guys. That was intended. There's every possibility that the 4th book, in fact, belongs to the defendant's landlord. Yes, that's the part I have a problem with. Sorry? Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? Enjoying a fiery scrap with his wife or something, you said? That's not exactly how I put it, no. Well, anyway, point is, the fellow and his wife were somewhere else when it happened. Huh. I think that's what you call a strong alibi. So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which only leaves the Nipponese fellow. Honestly, I can't see what all this palaver's about. It's a done deal, isn't it? I suppose it is, since I've nothing witty left to say. I mean, I wasn't blaming the landlord, although he was kind of suspicious.
Hold it!
What do you mean by that? So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean? Oh my, such delight on your face, but I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think of me, I am a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman. That's great. If one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them in the first place? You see, modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking, wouldn't you say? Not at all extreme. As I see it, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelmingly strong testimony. So despite 1 or 2 minor puzzlements, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational logic, wouldn't you say? Overwhelmingly. But us modern gals are always delighted to embrace new fads, you know. So I'd be only too happy to consider an exciting new theory if you could come up with one. I'd be happy to do that too, if only I could. Let's do our very best not to disappoint the modern and metropolitan young lady. Right. I'm glad you omitted rational there. Yeah, she's kind of crazy, I guess. Even though my books can't be related, yeah.
Hold it!
But the window wasn't closed. But what about the possibility that the window was open? What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been. How can you be so sure? The prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Winters in London are no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, that window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, see? But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you? It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it. Then what's the point in even having windows, huh?
Counsel, you will kindly refrain from childish bickering.
Oh, sorry. Somehow I need to show there's an undeniable possibility that the window was open. Because this young man isn't gonna budge otherwise. Huh. Hearing me, direct hit.
Hold it!
Why do you say it like that? But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not? With flames of love, I'll have you know. There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary bomb. Oh my god. Well, he brought it upon himself. It's playing with fire to betray a fiery love. Isn't it? Well, don't you agree? Oh, well, any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yes. But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Mrs. Gyarados. Never you mind that. The point is, we were just having a jovial little dispute. Nothing more. And I won't have any more of these suggestions that it was anything whatsoever to do with this crime. Poor guy next to her is like dodging her hand. Right, well, we'll see about that. But what about juror number 5? He doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Miss Gyarados' relentless onslaughts. It's almost as though he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is. Yeah. Look, I just want to get it over with. Sure. You just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake here. Well, him and me both, like I said before. What? I told you already. I'm a day laborer, aren't I? If I don't bring home some reddies with me tonight, you'll find me floating face down in the Thames tomorrow morning. What? Yeah, heard me. My missus isn't one to mess about, you know. She can be fierce, believe you me. Another shining example of marital bliss, then. A situation like this cropped up the other day. It was, well, you know, it's funny, but I can't quite remember. Sorry. It was too frightening, that's the thing. I must have blocked it out. Helpful. I wonder if Mr. Beat will ever be dragged into the Thames by his scarf. Don't even go there, Miss Susato. There must be some way to jog his memory about this. Okay. I'm gonna think of a way to fire. Sneezes. Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case?
Sorry, what's that? You'll have to speak up, lad.
Could you tell us more about that fire?
It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. It had 75 candles on the top, it did. What a sight to behold it was.
You put candles on a cake? What, was this some kind of devil worship? Whoa, is that not a thing?
Of course not. It was an angel cake. To celebrate my birthday, obviously.
It seems that's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, really? That wasn't a worldwide thing. Huh.
Anyway, I mustered all my puff to blow them out. Only I must have blown drunk somehow. The flames didn't go up, but candles went flying all over the room. Furniture caught, and everything went up. The whole place filled with smoke.
Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. But how did you catch a cold from a fire?
What a fiasco it was. The grandchildren, bless them, threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. And then, because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows. There it is, to clear it.
The windows?
Fighting winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave, it did. Caught a terrible cold from it. Put me in hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry.
I knew it was devil worship all along. But something about this old man's story is playing on my mind for some reason. Okay, so it's those two. We need to demonstrate who we read this. I believe, yeah. I had a feeling that that old man's testimony might actually be relevant this time. Window could, but I could have sworn they opened the window before the fire, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
Objection!
They may have been trying to hide the fire, and that's why they told me that. These two jurors' statements clearly contradict one another.
They do? How exactly, counsel?
Don't point at me again. I told you, it wasn't me.
Huh? What's that you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up.
Juror number 3, do you see? Oh, me? See what, sir? Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter. Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... Yeah, you dumb bitch! Oh! Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, was a fire in the Garrideb household. And Mr. Garrideb had the following to say about it. The whole place filled with smoke. Oh, my hat! Oh shit, what? Look at his little picture in the bottom left, his mouth. Oh, she's just chugging the tea.
Excuse me.
What? Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that? Girl, you're gonna have to pee. Mrs. Garrideb! Oh, dearie me. What is the meaning of this? How dare you imply that I'm hiding who I really am? It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now. What is it? When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window? What? I beg your pardon. What are you insinuating? The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window. Girl, it's not gonna get you in trouble. All you did was open a window. And what if we did? Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window. Which can't have been easy, since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering. Even though your house was on fire? Oh, you never stop throwing it till the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nose to do otherwise. Of course. I should have realized. That's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. You've managed to establish that the window was open. We simply must have that added to Mrs. Garrideb's formal statement. Alright. Now you mention it, yes, the window was open at the time. I'd clean forgotten, but it's true. Could have been open.
Objection!
It was! Is that not right?
Hold it!
Supposed to use them separately now? Diggity damn. Alright, okay. Blah, blah, blah. Calm down, everybody. Alright, hold on. Let me, real quick just save. Sorry, I thought I had to get them to... Usually when you pit two people against each other, then their statements gray out, because that means you're, like, done. But I guess I have to use them for someone else's disagreement now. Winter house fires are dire. That's a lot of rhyming. You have to open windows to clear smoke. That's when the chill gets to you. See? Yeah, The window was open at the time. She'd forgotten. The window could have been open when the woman was throwing books. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. There is some novel alternative explanation. Yeah. Hughes left behind evidence of the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his. Maybe... So he was arguing how there were 3 books, and my guy brought up 4. So am I trying to prove that there could have been another book?
Objection!
Ah. Alright, hold on. We'll just load. So we can avoid having to do all that. Okay, so that's not it. The window was open. Who is that gonna contradict? Her?
Objection!
No. Am I not trying to prove anything with her statement anymore? I'm confused. Huh. Could have been open, yeah. I have no windows to clear the smoke. That's when the chill gets you, see?
Objection!
Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't have to actually make him agree. Okay, so then, do I need to press their statements again? Okay, hold on. I guess we'll press their statements again.
Hold it!
At the point when the victim was attacked on Briar Road, we know there was a small house fire in the Gerda household on the opposite side of the street. Well, yes, it certainly seems that way. And on account of the smoke, I imagine they would have had the windows wide open in spite of the cold. You're right there, ma'am. We also know that Mrs. Gerda was throwing flaming books at her husband. Her husband, who was backed into a corner by the window due to his wife's frenzied attack. Yes, that's right. So there's definitely a chance that one of the books could have flown past the man and out of the window. Only what? Only I can't really see how it could have gone all the way over to the other side of the road, that's all. Ah. So I don't really see how I can change my decision, really. Oh, I see. That wasn't enough? What is it gonna take to persuade these people? Was it that far of a distance? Really?
Hold it!
The fourth book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garrideb told us he had been reading. Yeah. Well, I really couldn't say. On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading? If you say, well, I couldn't say, I'm gonna punch you. I did. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. And now you come to mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right. What? Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset? Because I couldn't, you insolent little man. I didn't remember. At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on, as well as you know. I really don't. I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less the title of it. Oh! What is with that face?
Excuse me!
Excuse me? What is it, juror number 5? You know something? I've remembered what it was. That memory I'd blocked out. Ah. He was listening to what this granny was saying. Brought it all flooding back. Who are you calling a granny, you cheeky devil? I'm Mrs. Garrideb, the maid, I'll have you know. The man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time. Oh my god. Stop abusing the men! It was about 2 weeks ago now. I just got back home after work, like. Put my hand in my pocket for the wages I just earned that day, and I nearly died. There was a hole. Every last penny had dropped out. Oh dear, what a disaster. You haven't heard the half of it, boy. Oh? The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight. I've lost the day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear. Stuck into the wall next to me, it did. About an inch deep. No words, just terror. I could smell it then, you know. That god-awful stench of the Thames. I was sure I was gonna end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I could tell you. Now, that's a real disaster, isn't it? I'll never use the word lightly again. Anyway, point I'm trying to make is this. When women lose their rack, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it. Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined. No, I wasn't thinking that. Throwing household objects at people is, well, it's so uncivilized. At least attack with honor, using a bow or the like. What? Attack? Who are you going to attack? Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think. Alright, we'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare. Hi, can you add that to your testimony, please? A woman in a rage will hurl almost anything at you. The kitchen knife really brought that home to me. Okay, are we really gonna suggest that she threw a knife out the window and it stabbed a woman in the back? Like, really? Is there enough force for that to happen? I don't think so.
Objection!
Really? Really now? Yo, there's no way. There is zero way. Those two statements clearly have a deeply significant connection.
Good grief! You mean they don't contradict each other? Explain, counsel, at once!
Juror number 2, do you think perhaps that this could be one such novel alternative? Oh my, whatever do you mean? An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back. What are you talking about? I just changed that accent. What are you talking about? There you go. We've demonstrated that the 4th book, The Lion's Pride, was found at the scene of the crime. It originated in Mr. Garridiv's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garridiv household to the street below. What's that now? After all, Mrs. Garridiv could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4? What are you insinuating now, you little beanpole? I'm beginning to think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what happened. Now you listen here, you Eastern Gala. As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house, but what? What was it? Okay, but I'm really taking a big gamble here. Yeah, you are. That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least, this warrants further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way from the Garridiv household to the scene of the crime was a large but commonplace folding knife. I don't know. Have I opened it? Can't find anything out of place. Oh, can I open it? The tip is broken off? There's a dent in it. Oh, no? Wait, hold on. Am I supposed to care that the tip is broken? Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo. Just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing. You're right. Well spotted, Miss Susato. I wonder what could have happened to it. Yes. You don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Oh dear. I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful. Huh. Interesting.
Take that!
Yo, see, this whole argument defies the laws of, like, physics, common sense. We'll see, though. Juror number 4, Mrs. Garridiv. What? What now? I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before? Ah.
Good lord, counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was lodged in the victim's back, man!
Yeah, well, thanks for saying that before she could answer, so now she can't. My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garrett were in throes of an argument. Mrs. Garrett was hurling anything she could at her husband, who'd been backed up against the window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene. You can't seriously believe that! The book was found in the victim's grasp! Are you saying that it flew out the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand? Huh, even my missus ain't got a name like that. Yes, I admit there are many details we don't yet understand, but that's the point. That's precisely why. We must not allow this trial to end. Not right now. Oh my! Oh! Miss Scaredab, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before or not? Oh, oh! What's that noise? Oh man. My lord! Oh, my lord, I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word, after all. Thank you, madam. Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end now with so many unanswered questions. Mr. Foreman. And I have to agree. And not that I think the granny did it, man. Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either. All together now, ladies and gents? Other Santa's just like, nah. Screw the guy, who cares? We did it! Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo!
So, as a result of the defense's summation examination, number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty, against 4 now calling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided, and this trial will continue.
Yeah, we did it! Woo! I just realized the back of their seats change colors depending on what they're voting. Oh, we see that happen, don't we? My brain doesn't work. Huh.
Now then, Lord Van Zeeks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed?
Ah, yes. This trial is rapidly descending into a farce. Oh, my throat gave out right there. Ha! A farce. Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant it's good for nothing save the gutter. If I may, Lord Van Zeeks, the defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened. Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting that you must all familiarize yourself better with the relative positions of these places being discussed. What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time? It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Garrett household runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. Which means that the distance from the Garrett household to the scene is some, yes, 15 yards. Let me see. 15 yards. That's around 14 meters. 14 meters? Oh, that's a little farther than I'd imagined. And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having portentous significance, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book, wantonly hurled by the lady of the house, traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow a near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back? This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots. Ah! Okay, well, how about maybe it fell to the ground, she picked up the book. I want to say it landed in her hand. I guess it's possible that she was walking by there. Oh no, but how long had Natsume been following her, I guess, is the question. Because if she had been, like, on the other side of the street and she picked up the book, it, like, flew out the window and she's like, what the hell is this? Then the knife came out, stabbed her, and then she stumbled over to the other side of the street, maybe looking for help, and then collapsed? I don't know. There's nothing I can say to that. I still find it hard to believe that anyone could throw a knife hard enough out a window to stab someone through a coat. Like, that just doesn't make sense. That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice. Mr. Zato! Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he? Maybe let's pick our battles here. My lord, might I be allowed to speak?
As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense, yes. Go ahead.
Prosecution may consider the idea of fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. Yeah, Van Zeke, suck it! To that end, juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garadev, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination.
Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror!
I mean, yeah, she threw the knife, I guess.
Order! 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 Well, this is highly irregular. It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
Yeah. Oh my... That's my favorite. And unnecessary.
Look, Lord Van Zeeks?
Gasp. There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have been flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. And we must assume they would be able to testify accordingly.
Huh. What say you, witnesses?
He's not awake.
Yes, sir. Constable Rolly Beat reporting for duty, sir.
Ah, God. Well. Good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir.
Oh, they are so heroic, these London bobbies.
Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more.
Oh, Raleigh, my hero, you make me swoon.
Yeah, get a room! Very well, I hereby reject the defense's request.
Oh.
And order the witnesses in the stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events. Yes, sir.
Oh, God. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call this an episode here, just so it doesn't get too long. And next time we'll see... Wow, I have so many save files. Holy crap, what the heck? We'll see what bullshit this guy has to tell us. I don't even know anymore. It better not be that the knife flew out the window and stabbed this woman, because that is just not... There's a certain level of suspension of disbelief that I will accept, and that is not the level to which I will accept. But we'll see. We'll see. I will not complain about it yet until it happens. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're still enjoying the series. As always, feel free to leave a like, comment, favorite, or subscribe, whatever you guys are feeling. And until the next time, lights off, dark out.